When time broke apart, the universe chose a child to hold it together. The universe had always moved like a single great clock. Stars spun in their places. Planets followed their paths. Galaxies drifted through the darkness in quiet harmony. But then, one silent second changed everything. Time cracked. It did not shatter like glass. It tore like fabric stretched too far. Invisible lines of hours and minutes split open. Centuries leaked out of their places. Pasts collided with futures. Moments escaped from their homes and wandered where they didn't belong. A star that should have been born tomorrow appeared yesterday. A black hole that died millions of years ago pulsed with new light. Whole civilizations blinked in and out of existence, unsure if they were meant to live or fade. And in the middle of this chaos, the universe, ancient, wise, and full of secrets, made a decision. It chose a child. Not a hero. Not a warrior. Not a scholar with knowledge of 1,000 worlds. Just a child. A 9-year-old girl named Lyra. She lived on a small green planet far from any important stars. Her house was tiny, her clothes simple, and her dreams quiet. She did not know she had been chosen. She did not know time itself had whispered her name. But she would soon learn. Because the moment time broke, something impossible woke up inside her. A glow. A pull. A strange warmth in her chest, like someone had placed a heartbeat of the universe inside her. And everything, every star, every creature, every life, now depended on her. Lyra woke up before dawn. Something felt wrong, but she didn't know what. The sky through her window looked strange. It shifted in color, sliding from night to day and back again, like someone was flipping through scenes too fast. Birds were singing, but some sang morning songs while others sang night calls. A warm wind blew from the east, but a cold breeze pushed from the west at the same time. Lyra rubbed her eyes and stepped outside. The sun was rising. And also setting. One half of the sky burned orange, while the other half glowed purple. She stared, confused, and then her heart gave a strange, soft thump. The glow inside her chest flickered. Her mother ran out of the house, pulling a shawl around her shoulders. "Lyra," she shouted. "Get inside, something is happening to the world." Lyra didn't move. She felt a quiet voice whisper inside her mind. "You see it because you were chosen." She looked around in panic. No one was speaking to her. Not her mother, not anyone. The words came from somewhere deeper. Somewhere older. "Time is breaking," the voice said. "And you must hold it together." Lyra shook her head. I'm just a kid," she whispered. But the sky didn't care. The stars didn't care. Time itself didn't care. They were all calling her. By noon, the world was in chaos. People saw things that should not exist. A huge whale floated through the sky, swimming through air as if it were water. Children from the village saw a castle appear on a nearby hill, only to vanish a moment later. Farmers reported seeing multiple versions of themselves working the same field. Time was folding in on itself. Moments were mixing. Lyra walked toward the river where she often played. She didn't know why, her feet simply moved on their own. As she reached the bank, the air in front of her rippled. Then it tore open. A fragile crack, glowing white, split the world like a thin line of lightning frozen in place. Beyond the crack, she saw swirling colors, past, future, and possibility twisting in a storm. Voices echoed from inside the rift, whispering languages she'd never heard and yet somehow understood. Her heart glowed again. The rift pulsed, as if calling to her. Lyra reached out a trembling hand. Her fingertips brushed the light. The rift calmed. Its jagged shape softened. The swirling storm inside slowed, steady as a peaceful tide. The glow in her chest pulsed again, brighter this time. The rift closed. The world grew still. Lyra stood, shaking. "What am I?" she whispered. And again, the voice answered. "You are the keeper of moments. The one chosen when the universe broke. You alone can mend the cracks." That night, as Lyra tried to sleep, she heard footsteps outside her window. Soft. Careful. Not human. She sat up, heart racing. A shadow stood in the moonlight. It was tall, far taller than any person she had ever seen. Its body shimmered like stardust caught in a gentle wind. Its eyes glowed silver, reflecting the night sky as though entire galaxies lived within them. It spoke without moving its mouth. "Lyra." She swallowed hard. Who are you?" "I am Varen, a guardian of the eternal clock." Lyra blinked. She had never heard of such a thing. Varen stepped closer. The air around him hummed softly, like music played by the universe itself. Time is collapsing, he said. Moments are slipping away. The threads are unraveling. Our world, your world, all worlds, none will survive unless the clock is repaired. Lyra wrapped her arms around herself. But why me? Varen knelt, lowering his tall, shimmering form until his gaze met hers. Because only a heart untouched by greed, fear, or ambition can hold the weight of a broken universe. Only a child can carry pure time. Lyra shook her head. I didn't ask for this. No one ever asks, Varen replied gently. But destiny rarely waits for permission. Varen opened his hand. A small sphere floated above his palm. It glowed with a soft white light, yet its brightness didn't hurt her eyes. Inside it, tiny shapes moved, seconds, minutes, and hours swirling like fireflies. This is the time seed, Varen said. It awakened inside you when the universe chose you. Lyra stared at the floating sphere. It's inside me. Yes. It is part of your heart now. The glow she felt earlier returned, warm and steady. Varen continued. The seed can heal the rifts, but only if you grow strong enough to use it. How do I become strong enough? Varen stood. You must travel to the 5 broken points of time. Mend each one. Restore the balance. And awaken the full power of the time seed. Lyra took a step back. You want me to travel across the universe? I'm just 9. Varen's voice softened again. And yet, you are the only one who can. Before dawn, Varen led her outside. The sky was stable for now, but strange shapes still flickered along the horizon, small cracks, small distortions. Time was still breaking. Lyra's mother slept peacefully inside, unaware her daughter was leaving. Lyra hesitated. Should I tell her? Varen shook his head. If she knows, she will try to stop you. And the universe cannot wait. A lump formed in Lyra's throat. She looked at her house one last time. Her toys. Her drawings taped to the walls. Her small window. Her simple life. Everything she knew. Everything safe. But safety was no longer an option. A soft breeze touched her cheek, as if the universe itself were comforting her. Lyra wiped her eyes and nodded. Okay. I'm ready. Varen raised his staff. A circle of shimmering symbols appeared on the ground. The air lifted her gently, pulling her into the light. As the symbols glowed brighter, Varen spoke. We begin our journey. To mend time, and to save all existence. The light swallowed them. And Lyra's adventure began. The world around Lyra vanished. No sky. No ground. No wind. No familiar sounds. She floated in a place that felt like both everything and nothing. Streams of light stretched in all directions. Some moved slowly, like gentle rivers. Others rushed past her like shooting stars. Each stream was a path, a timeline, carrying moments through eternity. Varen drifted beside her, glowing faintly in the darkness. Where are we? Lyra whispered. Varen answered calmly. This is the path between seconds. The place where all timelines pass before they enter the worlds that need them. Lyra stared in awe. The streams shimmered with colors she had never seen before, colors that didn't even have names. She reached out toward one golden stream, and it hummed beautifully, like a quiet note from a violin. What happens if I touch it? She asked. Varen shook his head gently. Not yet. The timelines are fragile in this place. You must learn control before you can interact with them safely. Lyra lowered her hand. But it feels like they are singing, she whispered. Varen smiled. Or at least she thought he did. His face didn't move like a human's, but his glow brightened softly. You hear time because of the seed inside you. Few beings ever have that gift. Lyra turned slowly in the endless space. Where do we go first? Varen pointed ahead. A dark patch appeared among the glowing streams, swirling like ink in water. The first break in time lies there, he said. In the age of vanished kings. The darkness opened like a doorway. Lyra took a deep breath. And together, they entered. Light returned. Blinding, golden, warm. Lyra blinked hard and found herself standing on a massive stone platform. Sand stretched in all directions like a vast golden ocean. Ancient towers rose in the distance, carved with symbols she didn't recognize. A dry wind blew past her, carrying whispers of forgotten stories. Where are we? she asked, shading her eyes. Varen stepped beside her. A world called Aerithan, he said. Long ago, this land was ruled by the kings of the solar throne. They commanded light itself. Lyra swallowed. Are they still here? Varen's glow dimmed slightly. No. They vanished centuries ago. Lyra frowned. But you said time is broken, so maybe they are still here but not here. Varen nodded. Exactly. A moment from the past is colliding with the present. If we do not repair it, the entire history of this world will unravel. Lyra felt the seed in her chest pulse softly, like a heartbeat guiding her. Where is the rift? She asked. Varen pointed toward the largest tower. Inside the Sun Palace. Lyra took a step forward. Her journey had officially begun. As Lyra and Varen walked into the ancient city, she gasped. Half the city looked alive. Crowded streets, bright banners, guards marching in gold armor. People walked around, carrying baskets, talking, laughing, living. But the other half, it was broken. Silent. Ruined. Crumbling stones, collapsed roofs, empty roads. Time was split right down the middle, like someone had cut the city into two different centuries. Lyra stepped between the halves. Her left foot landed in the living city. Her right foot touched the ruins. The temperature changed instantly, warm on one side, cold on the other. This feels wrong, she whispered. Varen nodded. Aerithan is trapped between ages. The past refuses to die. The present struggles to exist. Lyra watched a young girl carrying a basket of fruit. The girl suddenly flickered, turning into a ghostly outline, then reappearing. Moments later, a ruined building nearby shifted, half of it restored, half still broken. Lyra felt a pang in her chest. All these people, what will happen to them? If we fail, Varen said, they will fade. Their memories will scatter. Their lives will become unfinished stories. Lyra clenched her fists. Then we won't fail. As they approached the Sun Palace, someone suddenly ran toward them. A boy, about her age, burst from behind a broken pillar. His hair was dusty, his clothes torn, and fear flashed in his eyes. He pointed at Lyra. You! Don't go in there, he shouted. Lyra stepped back. Why? The boy gasped for breath. There's a thing inside. A creature made of hours and shadows. It's pulling the palace apart. Varen turned sharply. A time wraith. Lyra shivered. What's that? The boy answered before Varen could. A monster that eats moments, he said. It already took the king, and if we don't stop it, it will take the whole city too. Varen placed a protective hand in front of Lyra. Wraiths appear when rifts become unstable. This means the break in time is much worse than we thought. The boy stepped closer. You're not from here. I can tell. He pointed to the glow in Lyra's chest. And you have light inside you. Are you here to fix this? Lyra hesitated. Yes, she whispered. At least, I want to try. The boy stared at her for a long moment, then nodded firmly. My name is Kale, he said. I'll help you. Lyra blinked. You will. Kale shrugged. If you're going to fight time itself, you'll need someone who knows this city. He grinned a little. Besides, you look like you could use a friend. Lyra smiled back. She did need one. The Sun Palace stood at the center of the divided city. Half of it shone like molten gold, beautiful and complete. The other half collapsed into ruins, its walls cracked and melted as if touched by fire. A glowing line rippled down the middle, another rift. Kale pointed. That's where the wraith came from. Varen nodded. Then that is where Lyra must go. Lyra's heart pounded. Wait, alone. The seed will respond only to you, Varen said gently. And only you can close the rift. Kale stepped in front of her. You don't have to be scared. I'll be right outside the door. Lyra took a deep breath. Okay, I can do this. She stepped onto the golden stairs. The moment she touched the top step, the air trembled. A whisper drifted through the hall. Hu Uman. Child of the seed. Come to me. Lyra froze. That's the wraith, Kale whispered. Varen nodded. Remember, Lyra. Do not fear it. Fear gives it strength. Calm gives you strength. Lyra closed her eyes. The time seed glowed inside her. She opened the doors and walked inside. The Sun Palace doors closed behind Lyra with a heavy echo. Inside, the air felt thick, like walking through a dream. Shining sunlight filled half the hall, bright and warm. The other half was drowned in darkness, heavy and cold. Time itself was fighting for control. Lyra took a step forward. Her footsteps echoed strangely, as if the sound came from yesterday instead of now. The palace walls were covered in carvings of ancient kings holding orbs of light. Some carvings were fresh and bright. Others were cracked and fading away. A whisper drifted through the shadows. "Child." Lyra tightened her fists. "I'm not scared," she whispered. The voice laughed softly. "You are afraid. I can taste it." The glow in Lyra's chest pulsed once, warm, steady, calming. She took another step. "No," she said. "I'm not afraid. Not anymore." The shadows rippled and it appeared slowly, rising from the dark floor like a shadow breaking free from the ground. The creature was tall and thin, made of swirling smoke and broken clocks. Its eyes were empty circles that glowed with a faint blue light. Fragments of hours and minutes floated around its body. It moved without sound. When it spoke, its voice came from everywhere at once. "You carry the seed. The heart of time. Give it to me." Lyra shook her head. "I can't do that." The wraith's form stretched taller. "You are only a child. You do not understand its power." Lyra swallowed but stood firm. "I don't have to understand it. I just have to protect it." The wraith hissed. "Then I will take it." It raised a long, twisted arm. Shards of frozen seconds flew through the air toward her like sharp glass. Lyra gasped and covered her face. But before the shards reached her, the seed inside her chest glowed bright, brighter than ever before. A soft wave of white light spread from her body. The shards melted into harmless dust. The wraith staggered back. "Impossible, you do not know how to use the seed, yet it protects you." Lyra lowered her arms. "I'm here to fix the rift," she said, her voice trembling but steady. "Not to fight you. But I will if I have to." The wraith screeched. "Then suffer." It rushed at her. The wraith moved like a storm of broken moments. Its arms split into dozens of shadowy shapes. Time around the creature twisted wildly, walls aged and repaired themselves within seconds. Lyra backed up until she hit a tall pillar. The wraith lunged. Lyra closed her eyes. The seed glowed again. This time, she did not wait for fear. She reached for the glow inside her heart. Warmth filled her chest, soft, steady, peaceful. Then her hands lit up. Bright trails of light flowed from her palms, forming gentle streams like glowing ribbons. The wraith's shadowy body slowed. Moments froze around them. Lyra whispered, "Please, stop hurting this world." She touched the light. The glowing ribbons flew forward, wrapping around the wraith like threads of time. The creature shrieked as the light tightened. "No. You cannot bind me. You are too young, too small, too human." But the light only grew stronger. Lyra stepped forward. "You don't belong here. Go back to where you came from." The ribbons pulled the wraith into the air. Its form flickered and cracked. The creature crumbled into dust made of seconds and hours, and then disappeared, fading like a nightmare ending at dawn. Lyra fell to her knees. She was trembling, exhausted. But she had won with the wraith gone. The palace grew quiet. The dividing line down the center of the hall still glowed softly. The rift. The reason she was here. Lyra stood up, breathing slowly. She approached the glowing crack. Inside, she saw swirling colors, moments from the past mixing with moments from the present. She placed her hand on her chest. The seed pulsed gently. Then she raised her hand. The light from the seed flowed through her arm and into her fingertips. She touched the rift. Warmth rushed through her body. Images flashed before her eyes. The ancient kings building the palace. The rising sun over Erython. Kale as a small child running through the streets. The city falling into ruin. The city restored again. And a future she could not fully see. The rift slowly pulled itself together, like a wound healing. The glowing tears shrank. Smaller, smaller, smaller. Then vanished. The palace glowed. The city outside shifted, two eras merging smoothly into one. Time was whole again in this place. Lyra stumbled back. She had done it when she stepped outside. Kale and Varen rushed to her. Kale's eyes widened. "You did it." The palace stopped flickering. "The city looks normal again." Lyra smiled weakly. "I closed the rift." Varen bowed his head. You have done more than that, he said. You restored a lost age to its rightful place. You have saved Erethan. Lyra felt pride warm her chest. Kale grinned. You're amazing. Then he added quickly, for someone who looks like she can't even lift a bucket of water. Lyra laughed. I can lift a bucket. Sometimes. Kale laughed too, but his smile faded slightly. So, you're leaving now, right? To fix the other places. Lyra nodded slowly. I have to. Kale looked at the ground. Will you come back someday? Lyra touched his arm gently. I hope so. Kale lifted his head and smiled. A real, warm smile. Then I'll wait. Varen raised his staff. A circle of symbols appeared on the stone floor. The next rift awaits, he said. Lyra took one last look at Erethan, bright and whole under the golden sun. She waved to Kale. Then she stepped into the circle. Light wrapped around her once again. And time opened its next path. Light faded. Cold air surrounded Lyra. She opened her eyes and found herself standing on a bridge. But not an ordinary one. The bridge stretched endlessly into the distance, made of clear ice that glowed faintly blue. Below it was nothing but swirling mist. Above it was a sky full of stars, unmoving, frozen in place. Where are we? Lyra whispered, hugging her arms against the chill. Varen stepped onto the bridge beside her. This is Eternum, he said. The land where time moves slowly, almost not at all. Lyra exhaled softly. The air was so cold that her breath turned into white fog. Why is everything frozen? Varen pointed to the far end of the bridge, where a towering arch of crystal rose into the sky. Because the second rift is here, he said. And when time breaks in Eternum, everything stops. Lyra shivered, not just from the cold. The bridge looked fragile, as if one wrong step could shatter it. She took a cautious step forward. The ice hummed softly beneath her foot. As they walked across the bridge, strange shapes appeared in the mist below. Tall figures. Silent. Still. Made of frost and shadows. Some had wings like giant moths. Others carried staffs of ice. Their eyes glowed faintly blue, like frozen stars. Lyra gripped Varen's sleeve. What are those? The Timeless Guardians, Varen said. They watch over Eternum. But they are motionless now because the rift has stolen their moments. Lyra's heart ached. Are they alive? Yes. But trapped. Lyra looked down at the Guardians again. Their faces held expressions of calm and strength, frozen in time. I'll help them, she whispered. I promise. Varen nodded approvingly. We must hurry. The bridge eventually led to the massive crystal arch. Beyond it lay a circular platform made of shimmering silver metal. At the center of the platform stood a gigantic clock. It had no numbers, only glowing symbols. Its hands were enormous, stretching like twin blades of light. But the hands were not moving. Not even a millimeter. Lyra stepped closer. I can't even hear it ticking. That is the problem, Varen said. This clock keeps time flowing through Eternum. If it remains frozen, this world will slowly fade away. Lyra approached the clock. The air around it felt heavy. Silent. Almost suffocating. She placed her hand near the metal. And a jolt shot through her arm. Oh! She stepped back. What was that? Varen's glow dimmed slightly. The clock resists you because the rift is inside it. Inside? Yes. The rift has fused with the clock's heart. To fix it, you must enter the clock. Lyra's mouth dropped open. I have to go inside a giant clock. Yes. Lyra stared at the silent machine. Is this normal? No. She sighed. Figures. The front of the clock opened like a door when Lyra touched it again. This time without pain. Inside was a swirling maze of glowing gears, floating platforms, and drifting bubbles of moments. Time here was alive. And broken. Some gears spun too fast. Others stopped completely. Some turned backward. Lyra stepped inside carefully. The door closed behind her with a soft click. The air inside felt warmer, but heavy, like walking underwater. Every movement seemed slower. Hello, she called. Her voice echoed strangely, repeating itself in deeper and younger tones. She reached a floating platform and stepped on it. It drifted forward like a slow boat. Lyra looked around in awe. I'm inside time. As Lyra floated deeper into the glowing maze, she noticed someone standing on a distant gear. A small figure. A child. A boy who looked 8 or 9, with white hair that drifted like smoke and eyes that glowed golden. He wore clothing made of thin metal threads that shimmered with each breath. He looked at her with a curious expression. "You're not supposed to be here," he said quietly. Lyra blinked. "And who are you?" The boy stepped closer, balancing easily on the spinning gear. "I'm the keeper of the clock heart," he said. "My name is Owen." Lyra nodded slowly. "Hi. I'm Lyra." Owen studied her chest. "You have the seed." His eyes widened a little. "The universe chose you." Lyra sighed. "Yeah, apparently." Owen's curiosity turned into something darker. A hint of sadness. "You shouldn't be here," he repeated softly. "But you must be here." Lyra frowned. "What's wrong?" Owen pointed to the center of the maze. "The rift is there. It's eating the clock from the inside. I've slowed it down, but I can't stop it alone." Lyra stepped off the platform, landing on a steady gear. "I'll help you." Owen hesitated. "No one has helped me before," he said quietly. "I've been alone for a long time." Lyra smiled gently. "You're not alone now." His golden eyes softened. "Okay." Owen led Lyra through the maze until they reached the very center. There, floating above a massive golden gear, was the rift. This one was different from Marathon's. It was colder, sharper, darker. It pulsed slowly, like a dying heartbeat. Owen clenched his fists. "I've tried everything. Nothing closes it." Lyra stepped closer. The seed glowed stronger. Owen watched her with awe. "You really are the chosen one." Lyra placed her hand on his shoulder. "Let's close it together." Owen nodded. They both reached out toward the rift. Light burst from Lyra's seed. Gold from her. Silver from Owen. The two lights spiraled around the rift. Until something inside it growled. The rift widened suddenly. A blast of freezing wind threw both children backward. Owen screamed as he fell off a gear, but Lyra grabbed his hand just in time. She pulled him up, panting. "Are you okay?" Owen nodded weakly. Then the rift whispered. "Give me the keeper. Give me the boy, and the clock may live." Lyra's eyes widened. "No." She stepped in front of Owen. "You can't have him." The rift hissed. "Then both of you will fade." The golden gear beneath them began to crack. Lyra tightened her grip on Owen's hand. The seed glowed hotter, brighter, stronger. She wasn't going to let time steal another child. The whole of the timekeepers was completely silent when Eli finished speaking. His voice still echoed softly across the crystal floor, but no one moved or made a sound. It was as if the entire council, made of beings older than Galaxies, could not decide whether to be impressed or afraid. Eli held the chrono orb tightly in his hands. Its glow had become steady again, pulsing lightly like a heartbeat, as if it approved of the story he had shared. But deep inside, Eli felt uneasy. He sensed that something was wrong. Every council member looked at him not with kindness or understanding, but with an emotion he could not name. Finally, Elder Kayla stepped forward. "Child," he said in a voice that seemed to stretch across centuries, "you claim to have restored a broken moment in time. You claim that the chrono orb chose you. But you must understand something: children do not simply happen to be chosen. Something far greater is at work here." Eli swallowed, unsure if he should speak. "What do you mean?" he asked quietly. Kayla's golden eyes brightened. "The last time the orb chose someone, the universe was on the edge of destruction. No timekeeper could control the fracture. No guardian could see the cracks until they were too large to stop. And now, the same pattern returns." The other council members murmured in agreement. Lena, standing beside Eli, crossed her arms. "Isn't that why you brought him here? Isn't that why the chrono orb reacted? Shouldn't you be grateful that someone can fix the damage?" Another timekeeper, Elder Salix, stepped forward. Her form flickered between a star-filled figure and an elderly human woman. "We are grateful," she said gently, "but we are also frightened. Because we know what happened to the last child who was chosen." Eli looked up sharply. "There was someone before me." Salix nodded. "Yes. She lived long before your world even formed. A small child, gifted with the same strange connection you have. The orb chose her. She repaired many fractures. She carried the universe on her shoulders. And then she stopped." And then what? Eli asked, his voice shaking. She disappeared, Kayla said. She was never seen again. The orb faded for thousands of years. We believed the cycle was broken. We believed no child would ever be chosen again. Eli felt as if the air around him had suddenly grown heavy. So you think the same thing will happen to me? He said softly. We do not know, Kayla replied. But we must understand why you were chosen. Not us. Not any of the Guardians. You. Lena stepped closer protectively. Is that why you dragged a kid across Galaxies? To interrogate him like this? Kayla raised a hand. We dragged nothing. The orb chose this moment. It pulled all of us together. We are simply trying to prevent another cosmic tragedy. But Eli didn't feel any safer. He kept thinking about the unknown girl, another child who had tried to hold time together and then disappeared. Did she vanish because she became lost in the cracks? Or did something happen to her, something the timekeepers weren't telling him? He breathed slowly, trying to calm the storm in his mind. So what happens now? Eli asked. What do you want me to do? Kayla answered. We want you to show us the moment you repaired. We must understand your connection to the fracture. Eli blinked. Show you? How? I can't go back to it. It's already fixed. Salix nodded. You cannot return to it. But the orb can remember it. The Krona orb hummed softly, as if agreeing. Lena bit her lip. Is this safe for him? It will not harm him, Salix promised. The orb will simply project what it witnessed while in his hands. Eli looked down at the orb. Its shimmering patterns shifted and spun. He felt its warmth again, gentle, protective, almost alive. Okay, he whispered. If this will help, do it. Kayla stepped forward and placed both hands near the orb, without touching it. He whispered words in a language Eli had never heard before. The orb responded, glowing brighter and brighter until it filled the hall with blinding white light. Eli closed his eyes. And then the projection began. Images surrounded them, floating in the air like memories made of glass. Eli saw himself, standing at the edge of the frozen moment in his classroom. He watched the children unmoving. The teacher mid-word. The dust suspended in the air like glitter. He also saw the crack, a thin glowing line, splitting the moment apart. But something else appeared in the projection, something Eli had not seen before. A shadow. It stood behind the fracture, watching him. It had no shape, no face, no features. It looked like the outline of a person, made of shifting darkness. And it was moving toward the crack, reaching for it. Eli gasped. I never saw that. I swear. The projection continued. Eli reached out and repaired the crack. The moment sealed. Time flowed again. But the shadow, it did not vanish. It slipped deeper into the fracture, as if escaping into another part of time. When the projection ended, the hall was silent again. Kayla looked troubled. Truly troubled. This explains it, he whispered. The fractures are not simply happening on their own. Something is causing them. Something is moving through time, breaking it. Salix added softly. And now we know the truth. The child chosen by the orb is not simply here to repair time. Eli waited. He felt the words coming before she spoke them. You were chosen, Salix said, because something is hunting the cracks. And only someone with your ability can find it, before it destroys everything. Eli felt the weight of the universe settle on his shoulders. Lena took his hand firmly, grounding him. Whatever this thing is, she said, we'll face it together. Eli nodded, though fear churned inside him. I'll help, he whispered. Just tell me what to do. Kayla bowed his head. We must find the next fracture, he said. And hope, he added quietly, that we are not already too late. The hall of the timekeepers dimmed as Elder Kayla raised his staff. A thin beam of light shot upward, splitting the darkness and forming a floating map of the entire universe. Stars, galaxies, nebulae, and swirling clusters appeared like glowing threads woven into a cosmic tapestry. But then the tapestry trembled. A jagged tear flickered across one corner of the map, pulsing in and out of existence like a broken heartbeat. That, Kayla said quietly, is the next fracture. Eli stared at it. The tear looked different from the one he had fixed on Earth. It was darker, larger, alive. The edges wavered as if something inside was pushing to escape. Lena stepped forward. Where is that? Salix answered, in a region of space called the Hollow Spiral. A place where time loops unpredictably. Few travelers go there. None return without losing days or years of their memories. Eli shivered. And the shadow, could it be there? Kayla nodded slowly. It is likely. The creature you saw is moving from fracture to fracture, feeding on them, growing. Eli looked down at the chrono orb. Its glow had changed, brighter, but also more restless, as if it sensed the danger waiting ahead. Lena placed a steady hand on his shoulder. We've already faced one fracture. We can do this. Eli wished he felt as confident as she sounded. A door opened at the far end of the hall. A massive vessel floated behind it, suspended in mid-air. It wasn't like any ship Eli had ever imagined. It had no metal sides, no engines, no wings. Instead, it looked like a woven structure made of light, bending and twisting gently as if breathing. Kayla gestured toward it. This is the Luminox, our oldest vessel. It travels not through space, but through the flow of time itself. Eli's mouth fell open. You mean, it time travels? Not exactly, Salak said. It slides along the currents of time, like a boat gliding along a river. It will take you where you need to go. Lena grinned. Well, that's better than walking. Eli wasn't so sure. Are you coming with us? He asked. Kayla shook his head. No. Only someone chosen by the orb may enter a fracture safely. The rest of us would be torn apart. Eli felt a cold twist in his stomach. Then how do I stop something that even the timekeepers can't face? Kayla met his eyes. By understanding what you are. Eli blinked. What But Kayla did not answer. Instead he stepped aside, allowing Eli and Lena to approach the Luminox. As they walked closer, the ship reacted to the orb's presence. Its glowing strands stretched open like welcoming arms. Salix gave them a final warning. When you reach the hollow spiral, follow the orb. It will guide you to the fracture. But be careful. Time behaves strangely there. Moments may repeat. Memories may shift. Do not trust everything you see. Eli nodded, though fear fluttered in his chest. Lena squeezed his hand. Ready? He took a breath. Ready. Together, they stepped onto the ship. The moment they touched its surface, a warm wave of light swept around them. The entrance sealed, and the Luminox rose, humming softly like a lullaby. Then it shot forward, straight through the fabric of time. The journey was unlike anything Eli had felt before. It wasn't like flying or falling. It was like being pulled through a dream. Colors he had never seen twisted around him. Moments from his own life flashed past his eyes, a baby laughing, a birthday cake, his first day of school. Then the flashes changed. Moments that weren't his appeared. Images from Lena's memories, from strangers' lives, from lost eras. It was overwhelming, but the Krona orb glowed strongly, protecting him like a shield. After what felt like both seconds and lifetimes, the ship slowed. The Luminox emerged into a dark, swirling region of space. Spirals of faint blue mist drifted around them. Stars blinked in and out like broken lanterns. Time itself felt wrong. Lena hugged her arms around herself. This place feels like a nightmare. The orb pulsed in Eli's hands. It's guiding us, he said. The ship followed the orb's hum, turning slowly, gliding deeper into the swirling fog. Eli sensed the fracture before he saw it. A cold feeling crawled up his spine. The air thickened. The fog trembled. Then it appeared. A massive crack floated in space, twisting like a crooked scar. Its glow was dim, but the darkness inside was deeper than anything Eli had seen before. It was as if every lost moment in the universe had been swallowed into it. Lena took a step back. This is worse than the last one. Eli nodded. I know. But something else moved behind the crack. A shadow. The same shape he had seen in the projection, but larger now. Stronger. Its form rippled like smoke trapped in water. It had no eyes, yet Eli felt it watching him. The shadow drifted toward the fracture, its fingers stretching out like tendrils. Lena whispered, Eli, it's feeding on it. The Krona orb flared in Eli's hands, brighter than ever. The shadow froze. Then, slowly, it turned toward him. Eli felt its attention like a chilling wind. Lena, he whispered, I think it knows who I am. The darkness twisted, stretching, growing. The fracture behind it cracked louder, like ice breaking under pressure. Lena pulled Eli backward. Get back on the ship. But Eli couldn't move. The shadow spoke, not with words, but with a voice that echoed inside his mind, dark and cold. You have repaired what is meant to be broken. Eli's knees weakened. And now, the voice whispered, you will break with it. The fracture exploded with blinding light. The shadow lunged toward him. And Eli fell. Into the crack of time itself, Eli didn't feel himself falling. He felt himself being. It was as if every moment of his life, every memory, every heartbeat, was being pulled apart and scattered like dust in a storm. He tried to hold on to something, anything, but the flow of time swirled too fast around him. Voices echoed from every direction. Some were his own, laughing, crying, whispering. Some were strangers. Some were people who hadn't been born yet. Some were people who no longer existed. Eli wanted to scream, but no sound escaped his mouth. Then, suddenly, everything stopped. He was standing on a flat, endless surface made of shimmering glass. Beneath it, he saw the universe, stars drifting, galaxies turning, fragments of moments floating like leaves on water. Eli staggered backward. Where am I? A voice answered behind him. You are in the in-between. Eli spun around. A girl stood a few steps away. She looked about the same age, maybe 10 or 11. Her hair floated as if underwater. Her clothes were simple, white and glowing faintly. But her eyes were the color of broken starlight, full of both sadness and understanding. Eli's throat tightened. Who are you? The girl smiled softly. You already know, she said. You heard about me. Eli froze. The child, he whispered. The one who was chosen before me. The one who disappeared. The girl nodded. My name is Lyra. Eli felt a chill. But they said you vanished thousands of years ago. I did, she said quietly. Just like you did. Lyra gestured for him to follow. She walked along the shimmering surface without making a sound. Eli hurried after her, gazing at the strange place around them. Is this a part of time? He asked. Lyra shook her head. Not exactly. This is what exists when time breaks. It is the space between moments. The place where lost seconds drift. The place where the cracks lead. Eli swallowed. Is that what happened to you? You fell into a fracture. I didn't fall, Lyra said. I was pulled. Just like you. They reached a floating fragment, an image frozen in mid-air. It showed a young Lyra reaching out to repair a crack. Behind her, a small dark shadow reached back. Eli felt his stomach drop. The same creature. Lyra nodded. It has no name. It feeds on broken time. It grew when my world broke apart. And when I tried to stop it, it dragged me here. Eli looked around, feeling the weight of the place pressing down on him. How long have you been trapped here? Lyra hesitated. I don't know. Time doesn't pass in the in-between. I might have been here for minutes, or centuries. Eli took a shaky breath. I'm sorry. Lyra smiled sadly. Don't be. I'm not alone anymore. But Eli didn't smile back. Lyra, is there a way out? Can we escape? She looked down. I never could. Eli's heart pounded. But you, Lyra looked up, meeting his eyes earnestly. You might. Me? Why? Lyra stepped closer. Because the orb didn't choose me again, she whispered. It chose you. That means something new has changed. Something different. The universe never repeats its choices without a reason. Eli listened carefully. So what do I have that you didn't? He asked. Lyra pointed at the chrono orb in his hands. It's brighter for you than it ever was for me. And that means the fractures are growing weaker, or you are growing stronger. Eli shook his head. But I'm just a kid. I don't understand any of this. Lyra placed her hand over his. You don't have to understand it. You only have to trust it. The orb glowed warmly, pulsing beneath their hands. Eli felt a spark of hope flicker inside him. A rumble echoed through the in-between. The shimmering surface beneath their feet rippled like disturbed water. Lyra stiffened. No, she whispered. It found you. Eli turned. From the edge of the world, darkness crept forward, slow, swirling, hungry. The creature's shape returned, but now it was larger than ever, as if consuming the fracture had fed it power. It stretched long arms toward them, its presence cold and suffocating. Eli took a step back. Lyra. She grabbed his hand tightly. Listen to me, she said urgently. You must wake the orb fully. Only then can you create a path out. Eli's breath trembled. I don't know how. You do, she insisted. The orb responds to emotion, to intention, to truth. Use what you feel most strongly right now. Fear. That was what he felt. But then, he thought of Lena, of Earth, of his parents, of the timekeepers waiting, of the universe breaking inch by inch. He wasn't ready to lose everything. He wasn't ready to give up. The orb flared with sudden light, as if feeling his determination. The glow grew stronger, brighter, hotter. Lyra stepped back, shielding her eyes. Eli, it's working. The shadow lunged toward them. Eli raised the orb. Light exploded outward, tearing through the darkness, ripping the shadow apart scream by scream. The entire in-between shook violently, like a glass world about to shatter. Lyra yelled over the roaring sound. Eli, the orb is opening a path. You need to go, now. Eli reached for her. Come with me. Lyra shook her head. I can't. I'm tied to the in-between. This place is made of my broken moment. But you. The light around Eli grew blinding. You can still save everything. Eli's throat tightened. Lyra. She smiled. Don't forget me. The light swallowed him whole. And Eli shot upward, out of the in-between, out of the fracture, back toward the universe that still needed him. Light rushed past Eli like a river of stars. He felt the orb pulling him upward through the fracture, guiding him back to the world he had been torn from. His heart pounded. His mind spun. And Lyra's last words echoed over and over. Don't forget me. A final burst of brightness exploded around him. And then he slammed onto a solid floor. Eli groaned and blinked his eyes open. He was back on the Luminox. Lena stood frozen, mid-scream, her hand reaching toward the empty space where he had vanished. But as time snapped back into motion, she stumbled forward and nearly fell. Eli, she cried, grabbing him. You were gone. I thought. Tears spilled down her cheeks. Eli hugged her tightly. I'm okay. I promise. Behind her, the fracture shuddered violently. But it wasn't growing anymore. It was collapsing, slowly folding into itself like a dying storm. The shadow creature was gone. The orb still blazed in Eli's hands, though its glow was softer now, like a lantern fading after a long night. Lena held him at arm's length. What happened? Where did you go? Eli breathed shakily. Into the in-between. I met someone. A girl. Lyra. Lena's eyes widened. The one from the story. Eli nodded. She helped me escape. Before he could say more, the holographic image of Elder Kayla appeared inside the ship, flickering with sparks of distortion. Child. The fracture is collapsing. Are you alive? Eli nodded. Yes. And the shadow is gone. Or at least, defeated. Kayla looked overwhelmed with relief. Return now. Quickly. The timeline is stabilizing. The Luminox obeyed immediately. Its glowing strands wrapped around Eli and Lena as the ship surged forward, slipping out of the dying fracture and back into the currents of time. They emerged inside the council hall once more. The glowing cosmic map above flickered for a moment, then steadied. The dark tear that had pulsed through it was gone. Salix stepped forward, awe in her ancient eyes. You did it. The fracture is healed. Kayla looked at Eli with a mixture of pride and disbelief. You have accomplished what no timekeeper ever could. Lena smirked. Told you he could handle it. Eli stepped forward and placed the Krona orb gently on the pedestal where it had once rested. The orb glowed brightly for a moment, then dimmed to a soft shimmer, like a heart finally at peace. Kayla bowed his head. You have saved the universe from collapse, Eli. Salix's voice softened. But the shadow was only one part of the danger. Many fractures remain. They may not be as strong, but they still threaten the balance. Eli nodded. Then I'll fix them. All of them. Kayla hesitated. You are brave. But the burden is great. You will not be alone in this task. He turned to Lena. You have stood by him without fear. The role you played was just as important. Lena blinked. Me? Salix smiled. The universe chooses in mysterious ways. And it seems it has chosen 2 children, not 1. Lena's face reddened. Well, yeah. He's my friend. I'm not leaving him to fix the whole universe alone. Eli smiled. But then Kayla knelt in front of Eli, his expression turning solemn. You ventured into the in-between, he said. No living being has ever returned from there. That place is made of lost time and lost people. Eli lowered his eyes. I met Lyra. The entire council fell silent. She's still there, he whispered. But she can't leave. Not unless the in-between disappears. Salix's voice trembled. And it will only disappear when the last fracture has been healed. Eli clenched his fists. Then I'll heal them. Every single one. Lena stepped beside him. We'll do it together. Kayla placed a hand over the chrono orb. Then the orb will guide you, as long as you remain strong. They were escorted back to the golden balcony where their journey had begun. The galaxy stretched before them, huge and bright and endless. Eli looked out at it, not with fear now, but with determination. Lena nudged him. So, what's next? Eli held the orb. It pulsed gently, pointing towards somewhere far away. A fracture, he said quietly. A small one. But it needs us. Lena grinned. Then let's go. Universe Saving Team, Part 2. Eli laughed. Yeah. Then he looked up at the stars, at the endless sky. Lyra, he whispered silently. I won't forget you. I'll fix them all. And someday, I'll come back for you. The chrono orb glowed in agreement. Behind them, the council hall doors closed softly. Ahead of them, the path of broken moments stretched on. Eli took a deep breath. And with Lena beside him and the universe waiting, he stepped forward, ready to heal whatever time had left broken.